Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Haircut. A hairstyle, hairdo, or haircut refers to the styling of hair, usually on the human scalp, unless you're European. Anyways, sometimes this could also mean an editing of facial or body hair. The fashioning of hair can be considered an aspect of personal grooming, fashion, and cosmetics, although practical, cultural, and popular considerations also influence some hairstyles. Now, this is according to good old Wikipedia. Thank you again for the help. Now, how important is a head of hair? If you ask Dr. Evil, not very important. But if you ask other people, it's very important. A good haircut really just brings out the best in a person. Or sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Like, honestly, like me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I think I started going bald like probably, I'm gonna say late 20s, early 30s. I mean, I probably had gray hair when I was like 26, 27. You know, I mean, me personally, I don't really give a shit. I'm not really bald. I have a very big head. You know, some people got a forehead. I have what Mike Epps calls a five head. You know, I like right now my hair looks like it kind of looks like Vince Vaughn did in Dodgeball. You know, so I kind of got that going for me. So you know, I got no circle in the back there. You know, I just got the classic M. Kind of looks like a bat signal, from one side. I don't know. You know what? I don't give a shit. I really don't. Me personally, I don't. But you know what? If you want to be a model, yeah, you better have some fucking hair. But then again, that's not true either. I mean, I've seen plenty of people out there that have no fucking hair whatsoever, and they're models. You know, they're bald as fucking pool balls. It doesn't matter. They just live their life. And then as guys, like we think like, okay, do we really need hair to impress a chick, But then they want to fuck like Vin Diesel or Jason Statham, and it doesn't matter. Okay, these guys are like ripped too. Yeah, I'm sure that helps. I mean, I'm sure if they were like 100 pounds overweight, that wouldn't help. But at the same time, it's not really a big deal. But hair, I mean, what is the purpose of having hair in your head? Would I love a hairline like Alec Baldwin? Absolutely. But, it just wasn't in the cards. I got cousins of mine that have full heads of hair. They all look like models. If you look at me, my dad, my grandpa, you look at us and you will miss bowling. It's just the way it is. Like, there's no way around it. But that's okay. You know why? I don't know why. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. I mean, what is the purpose of hair? I mean, hair obviously it keeps your head warm, but then you could just wear a hat or a toque, or a chapeau, as the French call it, But is it that necessary for a guy? Not really. Is it necessary for a woman now? Whoa, okay, now we're hey, oh, wait, now we're getting some some shit here, Now again, I don't care if a woman has hair. You look at a woman like Amber Rose, okay? She is built like a brick house, okay? I wish for 5 minutes I was a rapper so I could have a shot at her. But I'm not, you know? But at the same time, it doesn't matter. She's a good looking woman. She's got no hair. Who cares? Some women like to cut their hair short, I've always had this theory with women that cut their hair short, not like super short, but even like whatever, the baldy or short, like up to your ears, whatever. It's again, I've had this theory where it makes their boobs look bigger. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I think a lot of women do that. Think about it like this, guys. Next time you're out in the street, okay, you see a woman that has like maybe short hair, uh, you know, she looks like the mother in the Santa Claus. And if you look at her boobs, don't look too long, you go blind. But if you look just enough, even if she's got like a C cup, I mean, do they not look bigger? I think that's a huge advantage, But then again, a lot of women look awesome with long hair, like long flowing hair, that long beautiful hair. It looks like a goddess. I love when a woman has really long hair. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the whole, Eve from Adam and Eve look, Although Eve the rapper is cool too. She's got short hair, she's always been rocking that, let's say if a woman's naked and she has such long hair that it's like covering up her boobs, I mean, that's hot. I mean, that's awesome, But hair is definitely way more important to a woman than it is a guy. I mean, honestly, it's not even close. I mean, if a woman goes bald, that's not cool. Like, honestly, I'm not saying that's not cool for me. I'm saying, that's just, it doesn't, I don't know. That's just a cruel joke that God would do, I mean, like women, this has nothing to do with hair, but you take the average woman against the average guy, it's not even close. I mean, women always look better than guys. It doesn't matter. And I'm not saying it's just because of the hair. It's just, it is what it is, But a woman's hair, I mean, you could do like so many things with it, Yeah, you can have it long, you can have it in a ponytail, you can do the bike rails. But, you could do whatever you want with it. It's cool. Guys, I mean, do guys want hair like Fabio? I mean, maybe one day, As long as I'm not on a roller coaster one day and I get hit in the head with a seagull, I'll be fine. But would I want hair like Fabio? Yeah, sure. For shits and gigs, why not? Do I want to look like Aquaman for 24 hours? Yeah, sure, why not? I like swimming. But do women really care if a guy has hair? The sad fact is, yes, they do. And how do I know that? I watch Seinfeld, because there's a classic scene in that where Elaine said to Jerry, hair is very important to a woman, and then George is just in the background, just like putting his head down, and Elaine just says, I'm sorry, George, it's true. And George is like, I knew it, but hey, what can you do? There's always hats. Just don't wear cowboy hats. I mean, I don't know if you're in Texas, I guess, whatever, but you don't have to go all out with the hats. I like a good baseball cap or a fitted cap, to hide the baldness, or the big ass head. That's cool. But you don't have to go overboard. But to have a really good haircut, I mean, it is a really good feeling. I mean, I don't know what it's like for a woman. I mean, it takes way longer for a woman to cut their hair. I don't know. Like, they'll go in there for like 2 hours, and they gotta dye their hair, and not that guys don't dye their hair. I'm just saying. I mean, girls, they go all out. It is like a whole day experience. I remember in high school, it was funny where, it was close to prom, and like a lot of the guys, like we're all wondering, like, where are all the girls? Like, it's like a fucking sausage fest in here, like for like the whole day. And like the teacher said, oh yeah, the girls are probably getting ready for prom. They're getting their hair done. And then the one guy goes, really? That's why they took the day off? It takes that long? So, like, we're stupid. I mean, like we go in there for like a 10-minute haircut. Although sometimes if you have a European barber, it's going to take an hour and a half. 10 minutes for the haircut, and an hour and a half to explain, I shouldn't be here right now. I should be in Greece and just relaxing, and my wife, she bitches all the time. Anyways, but it could be a really good experience too, but a woman, she will take her sweet ass time to get her hair, and that it's worth it, man. I'm telling you. Like, Me personally, I can always tell when a woman has her hair done. It's just that obvious. You can tell it's all shiny, and it's like it just looks good. You just tell. And I remember going to my buddy one time. I was like, "Oh yeah, she got her hair done." She's like, "Really? You can tell?" I'm like, "What are you blind? Fuck yeah! Look at it. Look at her. She's cool. But yeah, I mean, but just the concept of getting a good haircut, it could just make you feel so much better. Like it really does. Like it's just, I mean, again, I don't know what it's like for a woman, but with a guy, I mean, like when we shave, we feel nice and clean after, smoother than a baby's bottom, all that shit, whatever. But a haircut too, it's the same thing. You just feel so much better. It's almost like a weight is being lifted off your head, and it feels good. And you get it buzzed on the sides, and you can style it on top. It's just nice. And women, I'm sure too. I mean, I'm sure it feels really cool. I mean, you go in there, it's like, hey, give me the Rachel. And yeah, I'm sure it's a really nice experience. You go in there and you just shoot the shit with people, and you gossip. The concept of the movie Barbershop, I always thought was really cool. Not. I'll be honest, I didn't like the second or third one. I love the first one. The first one was awesome. Cedric the Entertainer, he definitely got ripped off for not getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He was excellent in that. I mean, to be honest, like every time I see that guy in a movie, he's always funny. I mean, like even if the movie's shit, like he's still good in it. But I think the concept of that movie was just realizing you can be in a safe spot, and I'm sure women feel the same way when they go to the beauty parlor, and a guy can go there and just feel free to say whatever the fuck he wants. He won't be judged for it. Well, I mean, he'll be judged for it, obviously, but I mean, it won't leave the barbershop. It's really cool just to be able to sit there, get your hair cut, feel fresh after. It's nice. It's nice to be able to have that freedom where you can just talk with people, and like even random people. Like I've been in the barbershops where I'll talk to someone I've never met before. I don't even know their name. I'm just like shooting the shit with them. It's cool just to be able to be that relaxed, and but that's what a good haircut will do. You get a really good barber, and they'll make you feel like $1,000,000. I mean, it's awesome. Do you think that anybody in human history has ever gone into a barbershop and said, "Make me look like Donald Trump"? I don't think so. But he knows exactly what he's doing with that haircut. He knows this shit looks like the worst fucking comb over of all time. Like that haircut, like that haircut reminds me of. It reminds me of. You ever see the movie Tommy Boy? And like, there's a part where like David Spade, he sits in front of like the blade, whatever, for the car shop there, the car factory, whatever, and it just blows his hair off, and it just looks like the worst fucking wig ever. That's what it reminds me of every fucking time I look at this guy's hair, and it is like super orange, like his skin is just fucking, it looks like an orange, and I don't know, like I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but you will remember it. Like a lot of people just get a haircut just to be remembered. I mean, I don't know. They don't give a shit what it really looks like. I mean, some people just look cool, like, I mean, take like a James Dean. Like I would kill to have James Dean's hair. Did I say Dean's? Dean. James Dean. That's how mesmerized I am by this hair. I look like a fucking watermelon that, is just hanging on to some scraps. This guy, he had a beautiful head of hair. I'm not afraid to say that. Great head of hair. But what can you do? A lot of it is just genes. I was not born with good hair genes. My arms look great. They're not too hairy. I wish I had the same hair I did on, well, maybe not, because it looks like, actually no, it looks, actually shit, now I think about it looks kind of similar. But anyways, Some people are just born with really good hair. There's nothing you can do about it. But then some people have average hair, and then they take their hair and then they make it into this cool style, like Mr. T. Now, Mr. T, every time you think of him, you think of two things: a pity de fou, thank you, or the mohawk. Mr. T was originally a bodyguard for Lennox Spinks, which was a really good boxer. And it was him and another dude. And, people would just look at him and go like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's got like the haircut. He's got a feather for an earring. I mean, this guy's, I don't know, some crazy shit, but you remember that, and he's a nice guy. And again, like, you look at a guy like that and you think, oh my God, he's got the crazy mohawk haircut. And, I mean, this guy must be fucking nuts, but he's like the nicest guy in the world. Like, I always remember Mr. T, like, they had him on one of those Dean Martin roasts. Everyone's just getting shit-faced. He's drinking a glass of milk, So, just because someone has like I guess a threatening haircut, like a mohawk, it doesn't mean they're nuts. It just means they're cool, really. I mean, it's just a cool haircut, It's the 80s. Punk was really in. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't matter if you look like Travis Barker or Wes Studi. Either way, cool mohawks. And sometimes you just got to get a cool haircut because you're about to play a cool movie role, like Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. When you just said at the end, fuck it, I'm just going to get a cool haircut, the cool mohawk. I don't give a fuck. You talking to me? You talking to me? I don't see anybody else around. So you must be talking to me. Are you talking to my hair? No, I'm not going to go there. The point is, sometimes like a haircut could just set you in like a certain mood, like for a part or just in general. I mean, it'll definitely change your whole attitude. Like, you can't tell me you're going to feel the same way with long hair as you will rocking the baldy. Like, there's no way. Hair will definitely affect your mood, for sure. And it'll affect the way you act as well. Perfect example of that is the good old boys, the Three Stooges: Moe, Larry, and Curly. Here you have three very different styles of hair. You got basically Moe, who, all you need is a bowl to put on top of your head and snip around. Larry, that's just like, I don't give a fuck kind of haircut. I'm just letting it go. And Curly, rocking the good old cue ball. Now, what's cool about this is Curly originally, he had the mustache, he had the full hair, but Moe told him, he's like, listen, we all got to look different, and he didn't like it. Like, it affected his mood for a while, so sometimes when you do a role, you got to do what's best for comedy, or just what's best for on screen. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one absolutely worked. I'm a big Three Stooges fan, and if you saw all three of these guys, I think they were all like 5'6", and if you all saw them with like the same haircut, it just wouldn't work. It just shows different personalities, so it just stands out even better. Speaking of standing out, how about this one guy's hair, Dennis Rodman? This guy was changing colors like a fucking chameleon at one point. Now, the rumor was that after Demolition Man came out, he started dyeing his hair like Wesley Snipes' character in the movie. But then again, it could have been the other way around. I don't know. But either way, again, it's just a freedom of expression, Just dye your hair. Who cares? Blonde, red, purple, fuchsia, whatever. Who gives a shit? It just stands out. It was, he was a very unique individual. And, of course, the hair added more to it. Sometimes a person is just, very creative, just the way they are. But then, like, the way they look, it just adds more to their personality, which even makes it even more obvious that, this person should be recognized and, freedom of expression. There's nothing like it. Now, you want to talk about freedom of expression. What about the afro? The afro, man. I always say if I was black, man, I'd grow the biggest fucking afro. I wouldn't give a shit. It gets so big, I would just have to walk with my head backwards. I don't give a shit, you know? And that is a really cool look. I mean, so many people have had it, and you know, you got the great movie like Shaft, you know, which basically made that iconic look like a staple, you know, as part of the culture at the time, you know. And then every time I think of Malice in the Palace, which was the big basketball fight in Detroit, you know, versus the Pacers there, I mean, one person that was definitely involved right in the beginning there was Ben Wallace. And Ben Wallace, man, Ben Wallace was a big motherfucker, man, and like he had a big ass fro to go with it. So you know, like if the, you know, like if he didn't intimidate you, like the fro would, you know. Sometimes hair, it can be intimidating as well. I mean, like sometimes you just like you don't understand it, you know. Like I think to this day, like braids, you know, still get a bad rep, you know. I mean, like a person like Bo Derek gets braids, you know. She's like, oh my gosh, she's changing. And then if a black person has braids, you know, a lot of people, you know, they give them shit for it. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's just hair. Who gives a shit? If white person, black person, who gives a flying fuck? I mean, who cares? You know? A lot of people always tell Pusher T, who's a rapper, you know, don't cut your braids, man. Don't, you know, you're gonna lose your power. So, you know, maybe a lot of it is in the attitude as well, you know. But then again, you got a guy like The Weeknd who had, you know, some huge hair, and you know he trimmed it, and he's like, I love it now. You know, the biggest thing he loved about it was he says now I can wear hats. You know, like a simple thing like that, I mean, can, you know, like I said before, can affect your mood, you know. And if you can't wear a simple hat, then, you know, yeah, that sucks, especially if you like hats. So, you know, a lot of people didn't even think of that. But a lot of people don't give a shit about wearing hats or chapeaus, as I said before. You know, like a woman like Marilyn Monroe, she just had like the goddess hair, like long, flowing blonde hair, like, you know, bombshell of a woman, and just, you know, it was just breathtaking, man. Honestly, like, and a lot of people after that like tried to mimic that look, and you know, because she wasn't your average woman. I mean, she was a size 16. You know, women today, forget it. I mean, they'll, you know, eat a salad a week now just to stay thin, but like she didn't give a shit. And of course, the hair added to it. You know, the hair added to the, you know, the attitude. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is who I am. You know, and I'm sure it was done up, of course, but you know, it's just like I'm just gonna let it go and see where the wind takes it. A lot of it is just an attitude. A lot of it is just, you know, something that just presents itself right in front of you, and you just look at it and you say, wow, like that hair looks awesome. You know, it looks just free. It's almost, it's freeing. Like it really is. Like in a way you look at it, you know, not just her hair, but just like long flowing hair. And you think, you know what, that's just freedom. You know, there's no restrictions here, you know, and I'm just going to let it go. Let it go till it touches the floor. Whatever, you know, whatever makes you happy. And a woman like Halle Berry, I mean, me personally, I always thought she looked better with short hair. She just does. I mean, she's got a beautiful face, great body, good attitude. You know, it suits her. Like, she seems like a really tough woman. I don't know what it is, like when you see, like, maybe it's just me, like you see a really tough woman, and a lot of times they have short hair, and it just makes them look tougher. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's supposed to, you know, make them look more, you know, just clean, or just, you know, like again, it could be the attitude. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna cut my hair. It's not who I am. It's, you know, just look at me. Like look at everything else but my hair. You know, so that's always been a really cool look too. Now, one look I've never been able to fully understand. I mean, there's many looks I don't understand, but one look I've never been able to fully understand is the mullet. Now, it's almost like you're trying to get away with two haircuts in one. Okay? I've been told it started off in New Jersey. I don't know if that's true, but basically a mullet is when you got long hair in the back and short hair in the front. So it basically looks like, your average haircut in the front, and then you turn around, and then you got the whole Billy Ray Cyrus party looking in the back there. I think him and his daughter are basically having a race to see who can have the most funkiest hair. But again, it's just it's just a freedom of expression. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know why I'm laughing. I mean, I wish I had a good head of hair like that anyway. But yeah, it's just a very. I just always thought it was a very interesting haircut. It's weird. I don't know, like. And it's weird too, because like a lot of guys too. Like, I'm not saying Billy, but people in general. Like like if a guy's going bald, like it's like if you split our head in half. It's like the front half is bald, and then we still got hair in the back, and we still want to cling on to these scraps, and still have like a ponytail in the back there, like we're Danny DeVito in Twins, and. That's cool too. I mean, if it works, man, whatever. Who gives a shit? As long as you feel good about yourself and, yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, why not? Just do it. Do it. Just, you know what? Have braids. Braids and dreadlocks and, Like, I've been listening to Lil Wayne since probably, 1998? I think ever since then, the last 20 years, I don't think he's gotten a haircut. Because he had a little short thing going there, and then all of a sudden now he's got the whole dreadlocks, and they turn different colors, and, it's cool. It works out, I mean, if you're a musical artist, you always got to change your style every album. I mean, you don't have to, but... it always helps. It's like, hey, it's a fresh new face. Okay, buy this album. This is what I look like now. And, so again, it's all just a look and just keeping up with the trends. And what about the buzz cut? The buzz cut, man. That was popular for a bit. I remember when Speed came out, when Keanu Reeves shaved his head, a lot of people were pissed off about that, because he was like this, kind of rocker looking dude, whatever. And he just cut it off. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm becoming an action star now. I don't got time to comb my hair. Go fuck yourself. I'm shaving my head. And after that, everybody started doing the buzz cut, because it was kind of the late 80s and then the early 90s hit, and then grunge was coming, kind of to a halt and whatever, and it's kind of just everyone just wanted a new look, and people even I shaved my head. I was like, fuck it, I don't care, it looks cool, save money on hair gel, why not? And women are still using their crazy hairsprays, and Farrah Fawcett had the hair. I mean, her hair was just it just screamed out hot. It was just a party. I mean, you looked at her, she was a good looking woman anyway, but I mean, the hair just added to it. It was just all, pardon my straightness, but it was just, curly and wavy and blonde and brown. It was just a whole crazy party thing going there. It was just cool. I mean, that was the time, just to live life and, let your hair just do the talking. You know what is gonna have a lot of people talking though? And this is the worst shit you can do to your body and especially your head, is wear a fucking wig. I don't know how anybody can wear a wig. I just watched recently National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and what was it, the one grandfather there, I mean, obviously that was meant to be a joke, I get it, but I mean, there's people out there that, it looks like you're wearing a helmet, and and you see these people, and you really do want to say something, I mean, you really do, and I think deep down they know. I think if you ever have a conversation with someone who wears a wig, I think they know deep down, they're wearing a piece of shit on their head, and they can see it in your eyes, that you really want to say something, and then, they give you a look back saying, thanks for not saying anything. I appreciate it. And it's like, dude, I'm trying so hard not to say anything, and I almost hate to use this example, but John Travolta, man, I love you, man. You're a good dude, you know. Face Off is an awesome movie, but you know, with that shit on your head, you look like Astro Boy. Okay, you got the money, you got the wife, you got a great life, man. Just don't. Okay, stop it. Please, it's not necessary, man. Okay, we'll love you either way. Okay, just stop it. Stop it, please. Okay, I'd rather you go back to what was it, Urban Cowboy. If you want to wear a cowboy hat, fine. Okay, that one I'll make an exception. But other than that, just there's no point. You'll never see me with a wig. You'll never see me like, remember in the '90s with that one dude who had that infomercial about the dried fruit and all that, and then he also had the spray as well. I don't know. I don't want graffiti on my head. Just let it go naturally. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Please, for the sake of humanity and me smelling that shit when you're walking ahead of me, please don't do that. Like I said before, I don't have the most hair, but I definitely don't have the least. So about a month ago, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. Sometimes I go a couple days without showering. Why? Because I'm a guy. Fuck you. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting a haircut. But you know what? I'm just going to shave it all off. I don't give a shit. And I go to my normal place where I go. And apparently they were closed. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I don't want to wait anymore. I'm going to find another place. I did some shopping. I looked across the street. I saw the barber there. I walk in there. Two cool Italian dudes. The one older guy, had to be in his, I'm assuming at least 70s. Very cool guy. He told me he's been cutting hair for 50 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies, if you don't realize how important this is to a guy, it is extremely important. If you don't want a person cutting your hair that just got out of the academy, who's been doing it for a year, you want a guy that when they invented hair, he was there and he was cutting it. And it was awesome. It was one of the best haircuts. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. It was the best haircut I ever got in my life. It's awesome. I sat down there. We're just shooting the shit, good old barbershop talk. Everyone talking to each other like we know each other for, 25 years or so. He puts the towel around my neck, puts the nice sheet over me. And he's like, and I'm just telling him what to do, because I haven't, shaved my head in a while, and he's like, don't worry. I know what to do. Relax. Right in front of him, he had these old school blades. And these things had to be just as old as him. I mean, they were like pearl and silver. I mean, it was excellent. So I'm just looking around. I'm like, okay, I'm in the right spot for sure. So, sitting down, relaxed, shooting the shit, talking about the old days. At one point, the razor he was, using, it wasn't working properly. I was a little nervous. I was like, you should have used Duracell. His buddy laughed. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So, shaved the head. all the hair is gone. And then he's trimming the sides, taking his time, nice and gently, no rush. That's another thing too. When you get a haircut, you should never be in a rush to get a haircut. You should give it, like, if you think a haircut takes 10 minutes, you're not getting a good haircut. You should give yourself at least an hour. I'm not even including travel time to get a good haircut. An hour just for the haircut. That's what it takes. So I'm sitting down there, shaving every little bit, cornering every little trim there, da-da-da-da-dee. And then he's shaving the back there, making sure that's nice and neat. And just when I think he's done, he whips out the blades. Blades of steel. And I'm telling you, he puts the shaving cream around my ears, the neck, the back, and he's doing the old school, you know, I thought I was going to get whacked there, like 1950 style or something. But it was beautiful, nice and smooth. You know, I just can't express enough how excellent this haircut was. And that's what a good haircut does. It should literally wake you up and just make you feel like $1,000,000. It should make you feel like a brand new man or woman, and just make you feel and look like the person you deserve to be. That's what it means to get a beautiful, truthful, exuberant haircut.